They equate UX design with just pleasing visuals.
While the app is a product, the design is an emotion.
If it's not solving the user's problems, there wouldn't be any app, and vice versa.
What do you think are the major trends that you see in the industry or in the competition today?
Of course, AI, which is trending, and everything is just AI enabled these days. So AI is definitely going to eat up our jobs.
Hello and welcome everyone to today's episode of the Visionary Voices podcast. Today's episode is not just a conversation, but an experience. And you'll find out why very soon. While the app is a product, the design is an emotion. I'm super excited to have with us our guest for today, who's a leader, innovator, and a speaker. So buckle up because he's going to take us on a user journey ride. Hi Rajat, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Angana. Pleasure to be here.
So you're a rock star when it comes to design. Everyone knows that. You've worked with multiple clients and varied industries. But before we get into this whole UX space, I would love for our audience to know a bit about how your journey started and if you could tell us a bit about your beginning, please.
Sure. So, Angana, I kind of stumbled into UX design. I started my career as a Java developer, and my task was to, convert wireframes which somebody else designed into functional prototypes. And it was just by chance that working for a client in London, I stumbled upon how the UX design team works, and I was really fascinated with how they would come up with creative solutions to complex problems. And I was also into their overall vibe. They'd just be walking around with wearing hoodies and jeans and working on their MacBooks. Back then MacBooks weren't as popular as they are now. So I then learned more on how they come up with those solutions. And there weren't any UX design programs as they are now. So I kind of self-taught myself into UX design. And luckily, when I came back, I underwent some trainings within my organization. And my backdrop and my passion in web design from my college days helped me. And that's how I sort of transitioned into UX design.
Wow, that's so interesting. Thank you for sharing that bit and being so candid about it. What's interesting about this is that a mere chance or a serendipitous opportunity had you change your destiny from being a developer to a designer. Uh, so, as much as you've enjoyed your journey as a designer, I'm sure you would have had your own fair share of trials and challenges. So, if you could throw light on some of the challenges you have faced in this journey and also how you overcame them.
Sure. So, there are challenges in UX design still. And back then, there used to be much more challenges. And we've, as an industry, solved them to some extent. So, from a TTN perspective, if I tell you, one of the biggest challenges is that the client sometimes is still not aware of the importance of UX design. And they equate UX design with just pleasing visuals and, the look and feel of an interface. And that's just one aspect of UX design, right? So UX design is uh, essentially how the interface or a product functions, right? So while visual aesthetics is definitely there and it's an important point, but that's just one part of the story. The other being that how the user flow is designed, keeping in mind the needs of the user, right? And how it functions and is able to accomplish tasks that a user might be using the app for. So that is one of the key challenges in UX design still. So I would say that UX design, to get an effective return on investment in UX design is a job of patience. So it takes time, but it is definitely worthwhile. And the other challenge I would say in this industry is that many a times, there's not a perfect balance between the user needs and the business requirements. So, in dealing with the business requirements, the user needs and frustrations goes for a toss, which is something that we shouldn't do that, because if there are no users and if it's not solving the users' problems, there wouldn't be any app, and vice versa, right? So there we have to strike a healthy balance between both these areas, so that we have an app or an interface that serves the users as well as is profitable from a business point of view.
I mean, absolutely. I completely concur with whatever you've said. It totally makes sense to me. In fact, I cannot agree more on this actually, because this point hits home and it hits hard about striking the right balance between business goals and user needs. Because me being a BA, I've been there and done that a lot of times. So I completely resonate with what you've said. But speaking about competition without compromising on user needs, what do you think are the major trends that you see in the industry or in the competition today?
Right. So, what's trending these days is conversational interfaces. Now, with the advent of AI being everywhere, the new demand for UX designers is to come up with interfaces and solutions that don't require human input apart from just their voice, inputs, right? So, to create that hands-free experience, the UX designers, they need to train themselves, and they need to come up with creative solutions. And this is not to say that it doesn't have its own sets of challenges, right? So for conversational UI design, there are challenges like context switching. Many a times the models that are being used, they are just used to conversing in a very linear sort of a fashion, and if there is a bit of a context change or a context switching, it becomes difficult for them to respond, and that has to be taken into account by the designers, and the interface has to be designed to cater to those needs. Then there are other aspects like various accents, because it's voice, so a large group of people have to be catered, and that includes designing for various accents so that the model understands and is able to respond accordingly. And then there is, of course, AI, which is trending, and everything is just AI enabled these days. So yeah, that's there.
Wow, so much for AI and the way it's changing our lives, and it's just grown so rapidly. But how do you think, or do you even think for that matter, that AI and the way it's impacting our lives today, is it also impacting the conventional UI UX methodology?
Absolutely. So AI is definitely going to eat up our jobs
Wow.
unless we evolve and embrace AI into our UX design process, which is something we are also striving to do at TTN. And we've done this successfully with a few engagements. So, for example, there was this recent engagement in the healthcare industry wherein, we had to work on a doctor booking, appointment booking application. And we made use of AI to come up with some competitive benchmarking and some initial wireframes and visual designs, as well as user testing, right? So we just entered the requirements of the application on how the booking appointment for a doctor by a patient had to be done in as less clicks as possible, right? So it had to be a patient centric app. And for that, the first step was to understand the market, what some of the key players are doing, right? And the app quickly analyzed for us thousands of app store reviews of similar applications in the market, and that gave us some huge insights on how the doctor's booking appointment could be shortened or enhanced for the patient's requirements. And then it also helped us come up with some initial few information architecture, navigation system, and wireframes. And of course, it wasn't the final design, but it gave our team enough insights and enough foundation to build on and iterate on from, right? So that was definitely a huge sort of you know I would say that it increased our efficiency by 30% on cutting down on all this time, which otherwise with human intervention would have taken around a couple of days. That time got reduced to a few hours. And we maintained a prompt library inside of TTN to successfully make use of these repetitive tasks, right? And the team can just make use of some prompts. Of course, they have to tweak the prompts from the library, and they just feed it into the AI tool, and it is able to generate and help with the foundations of what needs to be designed. And then finally, once this was designed, we also tested it out by uploading our prototypes onto these AI tools. And it kind of gave us areas of improvements, and where the flow was going to be stuck, and where it was deviating from being patient friendly and more into business requirements. So we were also, like I said, we were also able to maintain a healthy balance between what the patient requires from this application and what the hospital needs to make this app successful. So definitely, there is a need to embrace AI in our UX design process, and it will definitely help in having a faster turnaround time. Which is not to say that AI is always we can trust AI blindly. There has to be human intervention in the sense on how data is fed into it. So, for example, Figma recently came up with a AI feature wherein it generated prompt-based designs, and users noticed that when somebody input a prompt for generating a weather app, there was an uncanny resemblance to the Apple's weather app, the one that was generated by Figma's AI feature. So, of course, it was being fed data that was probably not open source, or the consent wasn't there of the users to use their data to build their models on. So that is of course there. And yeah, so this is what I would say. It has to be embraced, but with caution.
Wow, I mean, it blows my mind to see how unfathomable and unimaginable tasks are being done by AI and
Absolutely.
technology.
Right.
So, in this era of chat GPT and co-pilots, or whenever we talk about advancement in technology of any sort, I mean, I can speak from my experience. Like, I come from the wagering domain, and To The New takes responsible gambling very seriously. What I'm coming to ask you, Rajat, is what are some of the ethical considerations that you keep in mind as a designer while designing the products for your clients?
Right. So that's a very, like I said, Angana, it has to be, this is a path that needs to be, taken with caution, right? And I would say that to deal with this, there are two foundations that need to be taken care of. One is consent, and the other is transparency. So if we need data, and we need lots of it, right, to train our, the AI models. So we need to make it transparent that anything that is being generated with the help of AI, be it like images or any sort of data analysis or wireframes in our case, if there is a need, maybe we can somehow send in a disclaimer that this is generate AI generated, right? And the other is user consent. So all the data that we need to train our models, there has to be consent that explicitly needs to be given by the users or by the designers, whoever's data is going to be used. And these are the two key foundations that, if managed well, we'll be able to take care of all the ethicality around AI.
Very well said, and very wise words indeed. Because without integrity, nothing can go really far. On that thoughtful note, we come to the end of today's podcast. Thank you so much for this insightful experience. And
Thank you, Angana.
I'm sure, I'm confident, in fact, that our audience would have found this to be a very user friendly experience, like we promised in the beginning. But we're not done yet. We're not letting you go so easily. We are switching gears now. We have a fun segment. So, are you ready for some rapid fire?
All right, bring it on.
Let's go for it then. Your first question: what drives you more crazy? Too many pop ups or loading spinners which take forever to load?
Too many pop-ups for me.
Right. Are you minimalist like Apple or playful like Google?
I'm a minimalist.
Right. So choose one between designing these apps: a dating app for introverts or meditation app for toddlers.
See, we've already done meditation app, although not for toddlers, so I would choose the former.
Right. Food delivery or luxury travel?
Luxury travel.
Now we know what motivates you. Sketch or Figma?
Figma.
Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode, because it's sustainable.
Ah, there you go. One word that comes to your mind when a user skips your onboarding flow.
Damn.
What is your ideal weekend mode? Low fidelity, chill and relax like Netflix, or high fidelity, active and adventurous, exploring the city?
Sort of introvert, so Netflix and chill would be my ideal weekend choice.
Right. Which is worse, unreadable captchas or forms which don't save?
Unreadable captures.
What is your first CTA, call to action, when your workday begins? Like you check mails or drink coffee?
I drink coffee while checking mails.
Multitasker, there you go. That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you for being a sport with these questions. It was pixel perfect having you here.
Thank you, Angna. Thank you so much.
And for our audience, we'll see you again next time with another leader from another industry. Thank you.